The greatness of Hinduism lies, first of all, in that it is free of all narrow-mindedness, and it accepts every other religion and does not put down any other one. And it is eternal. And it teaches us that God is this, but God is also that. It does not put any limits on God. God is with form, God is without form, and even when God assumes form, God can assume any form. We know about God as the big tortoise. We know about God as in the form of a boar. We know about God in the form of half man, half lion. And we don't flinch at that. We don't think that's impossible, because the Vedas say nothing is impossible for God. Kartum akartum anyatha kartum samartha. He is sarva samarth. He is omnipotent. He can do anything. And I've been talking to you about the misconceptions about Hinduism, one of which being that we worship statues, we worship murtis. It is not so. Now I ask you, you work in an office perhaps. Many people work in offices. Many are teachers. You work in the school and you have a desk. Many of you are businessmen, businesswomen. So you have a place where you work. Now you put your family members' pictures on the desk, correct? Everybody does, at home and at school, and at work, I should say. So there are your family members. Now people say, who is that? You say, that's my wife, or that's my husband, these are my children. It doesn't mean that you are accepting that picture to be your husband or your wife or your child. You are not loving the picture, but the picture is a very powerful reminder of your loving family members. Correct? Yes. In the same way, when we go to the temple, or we have it in the temple outside the house, or in the temple inside the house, if there are many forms of God, and these are deities, these are idols, we are not worshipping the idols, we are not worshipping the murti, we are worshipping God. And the idol, the murti, the statue is a powerful reminder of God. We say that God is everywhere. Every follower of every religion says God is everywhere. God is omnipresent. Sarvam kalvidam brahm, say the Vedas. God is everywhere. Isha vasyamidagvam sarvam. The Ramayana says, Siya Ram Maya Sab Jag Jani Karahu Pranam Jori Jug Pani. I fold my hands, I fold both hands and I bow down everywhere because I see Sita and Ram everywhere, says the Ramayana. God is everywhere. Then, why should anyone think that God is not within that statue? That God is not within that idol? God is not within that murti? God is everywhere but not in the murti? That's impossible. God is everywhere, including within the murti. And we are being reminded of God through the murti. We are worshipping God because we all know we need reminders of God. We put images of God throughout the house because we want to be reminded of God. We have deities, idols in the temple and at home because we want to be reminded of God. And it must be noted that we are not worshipping idols. We are worshipping that one supreme being, and the idol is a powerful reminder. And I ask you, is there any religion that does not have symbols? For the Christian, there is a cross, and the cross is so holy. A Christian would not throw the cross away. Oh, that's sacrilegious. Why? Because it's just a cross. No, no, no. It's symbol of God. There's a sacred fire of the Zoroastrians. There's there's so many symbols in so many religions. There's a star and the moon of the Islamic religion. So every religion has its symbols, and those symbols are very dear to the person who is following that religion. And idols are symbolic of God. They are reminders of God. Next misconception, if you're ready for it, that these Hindus gods, they have wives. These are just mere mortals. They have their husband and wife. Sita and Ram, the wife and the husband. Shankar Parvati, husband and wife. Vishnu, Mahavishnu, Mahalakshmi, husband and wife. These are just mere mortals. Oh, no, no, no. They're not husband and wife. Because you see, we are human, we give a human twist to even divinity. Let's take the case of Radha and Krishna. It's not as if they're, well, people don't even say husband and wife in this case. They say boyfriend and girlfriend. How wrong can we be? Oh, they never got married, they're just boyfriend, girlfriend. No, no, no. In Brahma Vaivarta Puran, Radharani says, Mamaiva Paurusham Rupam Gopika Janamohanam. When I assume the male form, then I am known as Krishna who delights the hearts of the gopis. Mamaiva Paurusham Rupam, in my male form, Gopika Jana, the gopis, Janamohanam. I am known as the one who attracts the hearts of the gopis. There you have it. Radha is Krishna. Krishna is Radha. My Gurudev Jagatguru Shri Kripaluji Maharaj has composed a beautiful kirtan in which he says, Kabhu Ram bane Sita, Kabhu Sita bani Ram. Sometimes Ram assumes the form of Sita, sometimes Sita becomes Ram. They are interchangeable, they are one and the same. One God assuming two forms. This is not a husband and wife sort of thing. These are not spouses. It's not that Shankar and Parvati are two different personalities, they are one and the same. Ram and Sita are one. Krishna and Radha are one. There's no husband and wife over here. Another misconception, that, well, these gods, you can call them, they're very human. No, no, no. A lot of people say, well, you know, Krishna, he took birth. Ram took birth. Oh, but in the Gita, Lord Krishna says, make no mistake about it. Janma karma chame divyam. My birth is divine, as are my actions. We don't have a divine birth. Our birth is material. We have to take birth. Our actions bring us right back to this world. And we are born in different forms of life. But God doesn't have to take birth. He deliberately takes birth because of His merciful nature. If He does not come here, if He does not live in our midst, if He doesn't leave behind sweet, sweet stories, we would not be able to love Him. Because as it is, we think of God as someone very frightening. We are afraid of God. He's very awe-inspiring, very intimidating. God says, no, I'm very loving. Look, I'm coming to live with you. So God comes in our midst, He lives with us in the form of Ram, in the form of Krishna. But He says, make no mistake about it, my birth is divine. Now, in the jail, in front of Vasudeva and Devaki, first, Shri Krishna appeared in his Mahavishnu form. He appeared in front of Vasudeva and Devaki, so that they would know, yes, the Supreme Lord is fulfilling our desire. We wanted Him as our son. So first, He went to tell them, look, I am the one who is going to take your birth as your son. So first, He appeared in His godly form. Devaki and Vasudeva bowed to Him. They prayed to Him. And then, from the godly form, he changed Himself into the form of a little child. A little child. In the Ramayana, we hear the same. We read the same in the Ramayana. That first, Bhagwan Sri Ram, he appeared in front of Mother Kaushalya in the form of Mahavishnu. He's a Supreme Lord. He was smiling. He always has a smile on his face. Sri Maharaji says, Jagatguru Shri Kripaluji Maharaj says, look at God, He has countless children, and most of His children are delinquents. They don't accept Him, they don't love Him, they ignore Him, they shun Him, they abuse Him, but He still has a smile on His face. Sri Maharaji says to the householder, you have what, 2, 3 children? Even if one of them is not listening to you, you're always tense. There's always sadness on your face, you're always looking troubled. God has countless children, most of them are bad, but He's always smiling. So Mahavishnu appeared in front of Kaushalya.